Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. This is Not on Sundays Brewing. And this is Homebrew Wednesday number 3 on a Thursday. I've already missed the mark, and it's only my third Homebrew Wednesday. Things get crazy. You guys all know. Everybody gets busy. But I'm out in the brew shed right now, and I've got a couple beers that have just finished kind of carbonating or very, very close. Normally I only keep 2 because I've got a 2-tap kegerator, and I kind of streamline it and time it to where there's only 2 in there at a time, only 2 beers ready. But I was doing somewhat of an experiment with another beer, kind of time sensitive wise. So I'm about to go pour that. It's an IPA, and I'll get into that here in a minute. So I'm gonna go pour me a pint of it, and then we'll get to talking about it. Hopefully gonna make this pretty short and sweet, but let me go pour a pint and I'll be right back. Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Look how cloudy. We'll talk about this here in a second. Cheers. Oh my goodness. So normally, well, to begin with, this has been in the keg for about a week, I think. I put about 30 psi on it for about 48 hours and then cranked it down to 10. So with the temperature that I've got in my chest freezer right now, I usually use my fermentation chamber, but luckily I can double it up as kind of a keezer. But anyway, this has been in there about a week, and you can see this thing has not cleared whatsoever. It literally looks like a slightly darker Belgian wit. Like, I mean, unbelievable. We'll get to details about some of why that may be. So the deal with this one was kind of unscheduled. But I'm doing it because I'm supposed to be doing a special batch for a buddy's birthday at the beginning of March. And so the request was for a really, really big IPA. And to the extent of maybe like 11-12% big. I've never gone that high with an IPA before, so I wanted to give a kind of a practice run of sorts to get high, but not quite that high, to kind of get my feet underneath me. So this ended up being the 9% that I kegged on my first video. Second video. Anyway, it ended up being right at 9%. It's a 9% IPA, I guess you could call it. It's an East Coast style IPA. It's still got a good malt sweetness, a little bit of caramel sweetness to it, but the tropical fruit hop flavors out of this thing are crazy. Another cool thing is that I used a few hops that I've never used before, but thought would go amazing from the descriptions, because I like a maltier big IPA, but still having that great tropical fruit background to it with the hops. I used Columbus, a small amount of Columbus as my bittering addition, and then I mixed through a bunch of different additions from 20 minutes on down to flame out. I used 3 hops, one called Vic's Secret, one called TNT, and then the third was called Enigma. And I had never used them. I had really never heard much about them. I don't know if you guys have. If you've used them, let me know what you use them for and your thoughts. But these things are blending amazing. It is so fun. Fantastic. And also, I double dry hopped it. I did a 7-day dry hop from one edition, and then the second edition was for the last 4 days. So I dry hopped it 7 days remaining in the fermenter, and then 4 days before I brought out the fermenter. The only other hop I added to the dry hop that wasn't in the kettle was Galaxy. I love the aroma of Galaxy. And so that helped out with a great nose. It's got a great kind of citrusy, floral, again, tropical fruit nose. You love it. My wife isn't a huge IPA fan, but I poured the first pint of this last night, brought it into the living room, sat down on the opposite side. We have a big couch. We sat on the opposite side of the couch, and she looked up at me and said, "Whoa, that beer smells amazing." She could literally smell it from across the couch. It was fantastic. You love to hear that when you're making a nice IPA. So anyway, 2-row, Vienna, a little bit of crystal is kind of what I've gotten my go-to on what I really, really like in a grain bill, and then hitting it with some amazing tropical fruity hops. So yeah, this was the practice run. My other favorite combination of 3 hops that I love is what I'm actually going to do the big IPA for my buddy's birthday with. And so I'll be doing that here in a few weeks. I probably, even with as big of an IPA as this is, excuse me, at 9% or so, and I'm going to go a little bit higher with this other one, I found the wheelhouse is right about a month from when it was brewed. So I brew it, I stick it in the primary. I don't do a secondary because you can tell how much I care about clarity. I do a primary fermentation for a week, maybe a little bit more than a week, and then I dry hop it for about 7 days or so. And by that point, like I said in my video when I kegged it, I used the Conan yeast strain, and it tends to be done by that point. There's no more attenuation that's going to be pulled out of it. So I go ahead and keg it. So about 2.5 weeks after it's been brewed, I keg it, let it carb up over about a week, and then in the next probably week to 2 weeks is the serious wheelhouse of where this beer shines. So I'm going to try and time it just right with this other IPA, maybe give it a little bit more time because it might be up in the 11% range. But yeah, on this beer, if you guys have not used this Conan yeast, am I the only one that, I mean, this thing does not clear. It'll get a little bit better than this, but to my knowledge, I don't drink my beers really quickly out of the keg. And by the time I get to the bottom, it's still not clear. Even if it's been in there for like a month and a half, it's incredible. I never use, well, I've only used finings one time, like gelatin, to clear a beer. I did that to try to strip some tannins out of a beer I screwed up. But I'm contemplating trying it on this beer as again, as kind of a trial run. I'm going to be taking the one I'm doing for my buddy to a party, and very big beer drinkers, so they will understand if it's this color. But there's something about when you're serving beer to a party that they're kind of, it creates just a little bit of hesitation. So I think I may try and put gelatin in this, see how it clears, but more importantly, I want to see what it does to the taste. And see if it strips out any of the beautiful hops and everything that's in this beer. So my question to you guys is, have you ever used gelatin in an IPA? And if so, what have been your results as far as stripping out flavors? I don't want to take all the goodness away from this. That's why I don't care about a really cloudy IPA, because that means it's got all the good stuff still in it. But yeah, give me some feedback. What do you got? What have you had experience with when you use finings like a gelatin in IPAs? Does it alter the flavor that much, or is it pretty much okay and just makes it nice and clean and clear? It's getting pretty close to being the right carbonation. Swirl it up a bit and you get a nice kind of fluffiness to it. It's got a little bit of legs to it. But yeah, man, I'm loving this thing. I think that's probably it for me this week. I was planning on doing more, but I got busy. Going forward, got so much to talk about still, but again, later time. I am gonna be real busy next week at a conference for work. So I'm still hoping I'm gonna get a homebrew Wednesday out. I may take some beer with me to the conference so that I can have something nice to drink up in the hotel room. And then the week after that, I'm gonna be going to Germany for work. So I've started another playlist on this channel it's more of a beer adventures channel than a homebrew Wednesday, but I'm still gonna try and get out some videos in the next couple of weeks. Guys, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for any thumbs up, the comments. Man, I've been just blown away by the amount of people that I've had just coming to chat, checking out the videos, subscribing to the channel. I don't know these guys. They don't really know me, but this community is unbelievable. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, interacting. Love getting to know you guys and watching all of your videos. I haven't gotten around to watch any videos this week at all. Been crazy busy, but I'm going to get on top of that and see what all you guys are up to. Guys, cheers. Have a great rest of your week. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday. This is Andrew Cooper at Not on Sundays Brewing. Y'all have a great week, guys, and drink a darn good beer. Cheers. Have a good one.